This is the truth behind the GTA 6 leaks. Most people already know by now that GTA 6 had a massive leak recently, but I believe not many people actually know how the leaks happened and what the leaks mean for the future of GTA 6. Let's talk about some context. So the initial spread of these leaks started all on the GTA forums. There was a user, TPOTTubeHacker, I think that's how you say the name, says they have 90 clips of GTA 6 and the source code of the game, and they include a link to download it. Now this is pretty big if it's true. So as a human nature, especially on the internet, is people did not believe it. The person who leaked it attached images of the code, and people still didn't believe it. If there is no pictures, no click, as one user stated. But until Sfinkta, people have some weird ass usernames, who actually has a current court case from Rockstar for creating cheats for GTA and other Rockstar games, I think, primarily GTA, said the code looked very accurate to Rockstar code and it's something that he has never seen before, especially not from a current game. Eventually, the leaker uploaded some footage on YouTube and then people really started believing him. It spread like wildfire at like midnight on Twitter, and more footage from that download file started to get released. So that's the context of the situation of the leak, that how most of the public figured it out. Now let's talk about how it even happened in the first place. Where did this footage even come from? By the looks of it, the leak seemed to be originated from Slack, which is like Discord but for a workplace. A more professional Discord, if you might say. Since the gameplay was a desktop recording, it's pretty obvious that this footage was recorded by somebody who had direct access to the game on their computer. Now, a lot of the footage from the leaks that people did not post on social media and was only either in every single clip uploaded to YouTube or in that file was a bunch of test maps and testing animations. But I understand why they didn't get released, because they're mostly uninteresting. What also backs up from this being from a Slack server is that you can hear in the background of one of the testing clips a Slack notification sound. So putting all of this information together, we can most likely assume that this footage was found in the Rockstar developer Slack server, most likely an animation testing side of the GTA Slack server. I'm not sure if they have separate servers for different teams, but it was definitely more of so on the animation team side. The leaker and his team, which I think he did have a team, must have gotten access to the Slack server and mass downloaded any video or files he found, most definitely by other developers. This seems to be the most logical explanation due to how random the footage that got leaked was. Especially if a hacker had the intent to hack into the computer and show off gameplay. Why would they show off broken animation and testing of weapons in a test map rather than the more interesting big city or nightclubs or anything like that? Why test maps? It doesn't really make sense for a hacker themselves to play the game, so it really seems that a developer was playing the game, testing footage, most likely recording their screen to send to other developers in order to show them an issue that's going on or how something looks to get approval. You know, if you work with a team as a developer, that's usually what you have to do. So we have context of the leak and how the leak most likely happened, but what did the leak even contain? Now, a good amount of people probably have seen the leaks or a little bit of the footage, but I'm going to give a brief overview right here. Since I can't show any footage, I'm going to vaguely and briefly explain what the leak had. The leak showed off a lot of testing footage, mostly animations, some broken animations, NPC dialogue testing, and character model testing. There were some scenes that they were playing out to see how they worked, like a robbing of a restaurant and a strip club scene. But it seemed to be either for code and activation testing or model animation testing. Easily the best footage out of all of them was the strip club footage, as it showed a fully built strip club and also how the NPCs interact with each other. And it really shows how much more lively the NPCs are within this environment. It makes the world feel very real. The leak also showed off the much bigger map of the game. And as well, it shows our main characters that we might be playing as. Now with a brief overview of what the footage had, what does this mean for GTA 6? Like, what should you get out of this leak? I think a lot of people are not grabbing the most important stuff from this footage, so don't look at the quality of the game if you've seen the leaks, but rather what the footage actually contains contains the bigger picture. The biggest bombshell is that the game is taking place in Miami or Vice City. This is very obvious by how the buildings look. If you've ever been to Miami, you'll notice that the apartment buildings look very similar to how they do in Miami, as well as one clip had them exiting a hospital, and you can see on the sign, obviously, Vice City, so I think that might be the biggest evidence. The next thing is the main character, or should I say characters. Yes, GTA 6 is planning to at least have 2 main characters, and you can switch between them like you can in GTA 5, as it was shown in one of the footage clips. We will also have our first female main character, as well as another male main character. This actually helps prove some rumors we heard back in the day about there being a female protagonist in the next GTA. Another thing is that the game's already looking much more detailed than any of the GTAs. And no, I'm not talking about the way the NPCs look, they look like PS1 characters, but the actual decoration models and environment models. In the restaurant robbing scene, you can look at the couch and then the items on the tables, and they look very detailed. And that's really awesome to see, and the reason why I think those are detailed first is because the people who are level designing the map need those small decoration and details in order to create the level, and then the scripters and the modelers can add stuff around it. But when you're placing details as a level designer, you need those models to be done early. And as mentioned before, the NPCs seem to be much more interactive and lively. They all interact with different NPCs and move on their different paths, interacting with different NPCs, and guess what? They actually leave the buildings that they're inside of. It's crazy, I know. The NPCs work like normal humans, so it's great to see that in a GTA game. Overall, GTA 6 is in super, and I mean super early development. And on par with what the leaker has said, and based on what we think, it seems that they started developing the game in 2019. And if you skip 2020 due to certain reasons, I think they've only been working on the game for about 2 to 3 years now. And on a game this big of scale, that's kind of nothing, especially when you have so much to do. The people who are hating on the game because it looks bad are the people who are not pulling the bigger picture from this leak. Hopefully after this video, you enjoy what you should be looking for, and please appreciate that Rockstar is actually even working on GTA 6 after making a buttload and even more money off of GTA 5. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Now, if you would excuse me, it's time for me to play GTA 5 on my phone. This is the newest version on a 9-year-old game, but hey, I'm gonna play it because they put it on every platform imaginable.